What's up, everybody? Welcome to 94.1 WWLLMP. I'm your host, Local Lizardman, and I'll be giving you my highlights, lowlights, and flybys of what I've been playing and watching, as well as discussing a certain topic of conversation, ending the show in a rotating segment. What could today's segment be? You'll see when we get there, folks. Now, as for what I've been watching, I haven't really watched anything. I haven't had a chance, but I've been playing a few things. So I'm going to start with some of the lesser things and work into the important stuff. First, I've been playing Drive Girls on the Vita. It's a really quirky Japanese game about girls fighting bugs, but the girls can transform into cars. Yes, it's a thing. It's an actual thing on Vita. It's fine. It's nothing great, but I love quirky Japanese games. It's my thing. Next up, I've been playing Rocket League on Switch. I heard it ran at 30. I only play Switch handheld. That's how I do it. I bought it as a handheld, so it's going to stay as a handheld. It plays completely fine. I'm beating people on PC and everything. It's totally worth it. If you have not played Rocket League before, I highly, highly recommend giving it a chance. It's a great game, an amazing game, if you will. The two games I really want to talk about, though, I've been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, the test server. The new desert map Miramar is out. Now, this map, you need a completely different strategy than you needed with the first map. Erangel is the name of it. This is pure desert. There's like nowhere to hide. You might get screwed if you're in... Normally, Erangel, you can be in a bush or hiding behind trees. No. There's like nowhere to hide in this map. Buildings are your best chance. And there's the occasional tree, but you're going to be open from three sides. Like, there's nothing behind you to hold. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's so much fun. It feels a lot smaller. I think it might be, but I'm not 100% sure. It's much more compact, but I like that. It means shit happens faster. Oh my god, I love it. I'm enjoying this map so much. I can't wait. They announced the final release of 1.0 for the main game is December 20th. Also, I want a side note. Just yesterday, I put in a new processor, upgraded from an AMD FX 6300 to an AMD FX 8350. Oh, buddy, I'm getting between 80 and 90 frames per second on Battleground. Whee! Baby, it's something special. Oh god, I love it. I love it so much. The other game I really want to talk about, I've started playing Pyre. This is from Supergiant Games. We'll hear more from them later. When it first came out, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, because they said it was like a sport, like it mixed sports with tactics, and I'm like, whatever. I mean, it sounds cool. I really like Supergiant, but it wasn't something that really stuck out to me, you know? But I picked it up on sale, and let me tell you, this is going to be on my personal top 10 game of the year list, because hot damn, it's so good. It's so fun. It is very tactical. And, you know, even if you aren't into sports, I don't like it. It's hard to see the sport in it. If you know what I mean, it's much more hidden behind almost like a puzzle element, and it's just so good. The story is super interesting. It's about these people who have been banished, and they have to do these rites in order to try and like go back to their homes and families and everything. And the rights are the, if you will, sport aspect of it. And that's what you play. It's a very visual novel based game with that like sport element every time you do the rights. You can even just do a versus mode in the rights against another human player or against a CPU player. It's super good. I am super enjoying it. I can't say super enough for this, because it's very well done. It's very well written. The art style is just... I love Supergiant's art style. I'm 99% sure Darren Korb did the soundtrack for this, because, spoiler alert, I need to get this one too, because it's just that damn good. Man, Supergiant is great. Their games are top notch. That's what I've been playing this week. So, yes, this is going to be a shorter episode. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast. I'm here to talk to you today about a very special debate in the gaming community, and that is digital versus physical. What are the pros and cons of each one? So, let's get into it, and I will tell you what side I stand on, but it's kind of for other reasons, but you will find out. So, digital. Digital is wonderful. We're coming into the digital age. If you want to pre-order a game, say, hey, I'm going to pre-order Monster Hunter World, and it comes out January 26th, and you know what? I have the money. Just pre-order on PSN. Cool. Like, a day before, you can install it, and then right at midnight, it unlocks, and you can play it right away, just like that. That's awesome. No running to the store, no anything like that. It's really cool, and it's super fun. Now, the nice thing about digital, another thing, is say something happens. A good friend of mine had his house burned down on Thanksgiving a few years ago. He lost, like, everything. And somebody sent him a PlayStation 3, and he was able to get on his account and re-download his digital games. So, though it may not seem like much, it was definitely a help because he had something to play. He didn't lose all those games. He was able to just re-download them and play them. And that, I know, is also probably a big help in keeping his mind off of things. That's one thing I love about digital. If ever I lose everything, I can get a computer, a PS4, PS3, any of these consoles, and just all I need is that and internet, and I have stuff I can do in the meantime. Now, here are some of my knocks against digital. Namely two certain things. One, hard drive space. And this will come into play a little later with something else as well. Hard drive space. I just put a 4 terabyte external hard drive on my PS4. My PS4, I already installed a 2 gigabyte hard drive or 2 terabyte hard drive in it. These games are a big example here. Doom is 70 gigabytes. That is 1/20th of my hard drive. Now, it may not seem like much, but when the PlayStation 4 comes with a 500 gigabyte hard drive, that's 1/5 of the hard drive, pretty much, just for one game. Grand Theft Auto 5, even bigger. Forza Motorsport 7, not, like, with no 4K assets. 95 gigabytes. I have a 500 gigabyte Xbox One S. I just installed a 750 gigabyte external hard drive, so I could have more than like 5 games on the console at a time. That blows. These consoles were not made to hold this many games at a time. I have like partial OCD when it comes to gaming. I never know what I'm going to want to play. And another reason that I keep a lot of these games installed at a time, I have a data cap for my internet each month. Granted, we just upgraded a few days ago, but before, 350 gigabytes a month. Sorry, gigabits. However they do that measurement. I know speed is megabits, but whatever. I have 3 people in my home. One uses the internet sparingly. Another one, she's on like Netflix and streaming Vudu and everything all the time. That uses up our bandwidth. Then I'm playing games all the time. I stream. I download games. Downloading Doom. I started to download Doom again because I want to give it another shot. But I'm like, no, in case there's another game I want to download or get this month, I'm not going to download that because it will put us up at our limit. There are so many people who still have bandwidth caps, and going all digital makes going all digital very hard. In a way, I'd love to. But, well, let's get right into physical, shall we? So, pros and cons of physical. To go back to the hard drive space, if you have a physical game. So, like I said, I wanted to download Doom. I wanted to give it another shot, but that's 70 gigabyte install. So what I did was I went to Best Buy. It's on sale right now, and I picked up a physical copy of Doom. So, sure, I will still need to download like 25 gigs of it, but here I can put it in, and almost 50 gigs is not. It doesn't need to be downloaded. It's not going to use up my bandwidth. It's not going to use up my data cap for the month. No, don't worry about that. Physical games make that so much easier. Also, going back to the hard drive space, if you need to delete a game, depending on not even your data cap but your internet speed, my one friend at his house, if he wanted to download Doom, it would probably take him about 5 days. That's ridiculous. Or if you, I don't know, put the disc in, you can play it in 10 minutes. There's a big difference. Thankfully, my internet has gotten past that, where 11 gigabytes downloads in 20 minutes. That, like, I have very good internet, and I know a lot of people don't have that yet. And that's one thing that makes digital so hard in this aspect. Physical, you can just pop it in, and it's installed in a few minutes. That's it. That's all you need to do. Another big thing is I'm a collector. I have shelves full of video games. One thing I would like to do at some point in life, I would like to have my own little, like, personal museum of gaming through history. And I want to preserve a lot of what gaming offered and has to offer and will offer in the future. Gaming is so important to me in aspects of, like, how it helped me through life. I want to be able to show this medium off for the rest of my life. So physical helps in that aspect, because I have something I can show people, something I never have to worry about. Speaking of never needing to worry about, another thing with digital that makes it harder, when we buy something on Steam or on PlayStation Network or on any of those digital shops, we don't own that game. Someday, the PlayStation Network will be shut down. And what they will end up doing is, as long as you have it installed, you will be able to play. But if it's not installed and that system gets shut down, you can't re-download it. There's no way to do it. They just did it with the Wii eShop, either recently or it's coming up soon, within the next month, where if there's anything you want to buy or want to download onto your console, you need to do it now. Otherwise, it's gone forever. And just hope nothing happens to that hard drive. I have PT installed on my PS4. I have that game backed up somewhere, so I can always put it back on should something happen to the hard drive or anything. Yes, digital becomes very foggy on that front. But at the same time, oh no, they shut down the company that made X-Men Legends, and, like, due to some copyright thing, they can't sell the game anymore, brand new. There's so many used copies out there, you can get it. And, oh no, something happened to the hard drive. Let me put the disc back in, I can reinstall it, and I don't lose that game forever. Like, there are so many things that digital, I feel, is more ease of use and protection from disaster. So ease of use being you can just I don't want to leave my house. I just, there's something, let me just grab that. Or I'm going to preload this so I can play it right at midnight. And the protection from disaster is if something happens and I lose all of my stuff, if I get another PS4, I will have hundreds of hours and hundreds of games that I can still play. But at the same time, the data cap, the time required, the future proofing aspect of it all becomes very foggy in all of these aspects, and that's where physical comes in. So you can't really say one is better than the other. It's all a matter of preference. I prefer physical, but at the same time, I get a lot digital. I just picked up, I guess the best way to do it would be on Black Friday. I picked up from PlayStation Network Rainbow Six Siege, The Division, Prey, Hidden Agenda. All of these you can get physically, but I got them digitally because of the sale prices. Also, digitally, you can get some very good sale prices, especially on Steam. The sales they have are usually big blowout prices. Like, geez, how do they get away with that? It's awesome. But again, you're paying for the convenience of digitally, in essence, you are renting. You are renting it forever until they decide you can't rent it anymore. So there's no clear one is better than the other in this thing. It's all a matter of preference. I prefer physical. I have friends who prefer digital. Also, consoles come into play. Is one, I know friends who prefer, for their Vita, they want to go all digital. Why not? You don't have to carry the cards around. You don't have to worry about any of that. I prefer physical because of memory card space. I don't want to re-download stuff all the time. So, it's all a matter of preference. I prefer physical. I think digital is awesome. It's perfect. Not perfect, but I think it's great. You know, no one person has a better choice over the other. That's one big thing I wanted to get across in this. People say, if you don't do one, you're stupid, or if you don't do the other, you're dumb. No, there's no point to that. Either way is great. They're games. We enjoy playing them. We can play them together. If somebody owns it digitally and another person physically, guess what? We can still play it online together. There's no one better than the other. Digital versus physical, there's your pros and cons. It's up to you to decide what aspect, like what things come together, what you prefer to do with your games. So, thanks everybody, and in our next segment, let's talk about a little someone that, I should say company, that has had a major impact on me. For this last segment, I want to do a shout out, this time to a game company. I want to give it to Supergiant Games. I talked about them a little before in the podcast. They have 3 games out: Bastion, Transistor, and Pyre. Pyre, as I said recently, took me by surprise. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is, and it's really good. But I should have known it, because when I look back even further, let's go next to Transistor. The art style is amazing. I'm looking at a Transistor poster on my wall that I got from PAX East this year. I think I may have gotten it at this year's PAX East. It's like the art style they choose for their games is beautiful and wonderful. The music, Darren Korb is a brilliant man. I have the Transistor soundtrack on vinyl, and I listen to it all the time. It's so good. But if we want to go back to good, let's hit up Bastion. That game is what started all of this. First, the soundtrack is one of my favorite soundtracks of any medium ever. Whether it be for a game, for a movie, just music in general. The Bastion soundtrack is amazing. And I don't I don't know how he does it. At PAX East last year, it was either last year or this year, the musical acts start to run together. He came out on stage with this one band, and they did Carry On My Wayward Son. Him just there playing guitar. It's ridiculous. Like, he's such a talented, smart, imaginative individual, Darren Korb. And as for the game itself, Bastion, the art style, I have a Bastion art print that of the what do they just call him? Wanderer? Something like that. I haven't played it in a while. It just, the art that they use in their games is amazing. It almost looks like water paints at times, and they always use a narrator that just has this wonderful voice, just this foreboding, this powerful, meaningful voice that they use for a narrator in each of their games. In Transistor, the sword was the narrator. Her sword was talking to her and was narrating the story. They come up with these brilliant ideas. Their games are not super long. I think Pyre is the longest. I think I heard it goes to about 12 hours in length, but that is the longest of their games. Their games are not long, but they are really good. They are like, Bastion was one of the first games that showed me that these quote unquote indie games, which we will get to in another podcast, these quote unquote indie games are a force to be reckoned with. First it was Limbo, then it was Bastion. And it's just such a fun game. It's a fun studio. Everything they make is so well thought out and so well executed. I didn't get Pyre right away because I'm like, I don't know if this game will pertain to me. After playing this, I will get anything they put out because I trust them. I trust in what they make, and I trust that I will enjoy it because I love the way their minds work. I cannot not recommend Supergiant Games enough. Just try any of their 3 games, Bastion, Transistor, Pyre. Try any of them, and you will fall in love. I guarantee it. These games are, in my opinion, some of the best games today. Pyre will be on my personal top 10 list for this year. And yes, I've been playing it for 2 days. Like, it already has made its mark on me. And I think everybody should give it a shot. Give them a shot. Namely, Bastion. Bastion's available on, like, everything. It's available on Vita, PC, Xbox 360, PS3, I think, PS4. It's available on, like, everything. Give it a shot. You need to try this game. Supergiant Games. Go give them some love. There's a lot of talk anymore in the industry about different companies selling out and everything. Supergiant is not one of those companies. They deserve to be recognized for the work that they put in. They deserve to be recognized for all the heart, all the soul that gets put into these games. You can tell these are passion projects for them. They're not just a way to make money. And they deserve glances. They deserve looks. They deserve much more credit than they are given. So everybody, check out Supergiant. Give them a chance. And I'm sure you will enjoy their stuff. That was it for this episode of 94.1 WWLLMP. I will return next week with, well, I do believe we will be going over the Game Awards and PSX. Some new announcements, what we've seen there, some stuff that might have been inferred. And I know they happened already, but I want to give my emotions a chance to settle down because of the Game of the Year that won. I just don't think it deserved it. But we'll be going over that next week, and I already know who my next shout-out is going to be. So, good night, YouTube. Good night.